Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Florida Aviation Network. My name is Lori Bradner, and I am your host today. We are broadcasting live and in the clear from Sun and Fun 2021. We are located in the Piedmont building and thrilled to be here. My next guest is an absolute delight, and I'm so honored and thrilled to have you here. Dr. Salazar, thank you for joining me. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you, and thank you for having me, Laurie.
You are welcome. We are so thrilled, and I have to tell you, your CV, your curriculum vitae is just, it's like a book. So I'm going to keep you here for about 2 hours, if that's okay. We're going to talk for about, no, anyway, I tell you what, it's Dr. Salazar. You are Chief Technical Officer of JHL Technologies.
Yes.
You and your lovely bride have started your own company called Blades Over Me, which I noticed that you're wearing the shirt.
Correct.
So we need to talk about that. You also are a professor at the Florida Institute of Technology. Fabulous school, by the way.
It is.
And not only that, but you helped actually refine and develop a course that is not only hands-on, but absolutely practical. And on top of that, you are a flight instructor, but in a very special area. So I'm telling you, you are one of these individuals I was so excited to talk to. And let's start first and foremost with your company. I want to talk about that. You've got the shirt on. I'm really excited. I love the logo. And so can you tell us a little bit about Blades Over Me? What is it? What do you do?
Well, Blades Over Me is a company that we created to emphasize the work on drones and to teach gyroplane. Okay. In addition to something that you forgot to say, I belong to the Drone Pro from the FIST in Orlando.
Awesome. Thank you I appreciate that correction.
And at the same time, I belong to the FAST team. I just became lead rep for the FAST team for the FIST in Orlando.
Do you sleep?
Not sometimes.
Not sometimes. Awesome.
No.
So tell me a little bit more. What was the impetus? And it was you and your wife that started Blades Over Me. What was the impetus, and what is the mission and the vision of the company? What do you do?
Well, one of the things that we wanted to do is improve the training.
Okay.
And since I've been a professor of the university and done a lot of courses online, developed a lot of courses and as well as book, one of the things that I saw is that we needed to improve the area of training not only for drones but also for the gyroplane.
Right.
There are materials in there, but there is not a lot of information that is readily available. You got the FAA manuals and you got all of the information there. But in terms of the practical things, you don't have that many things. So when I went to FIT and they request or asked me to teach their advanced UAS course, one of the things that I said is that, what do you call advanced? Well, all the commercial operations. So I said, great, is that a practical course? Oh no, it's in the classroom. I said, well, you have a minor and you don't have hands-on? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
So what I did with them is I work on modifying the course in such a way that after the second week, the students just moved to the lab, the drone lab, where they learn how to fly the drones with all the maneuvers and everything, and they're probably there for 3 weeks. And then from there, we'll move to the outside, and then they practice filming videos, filming concerts, power line operations, inspection, roof inspections, agriculture, mapping, all of those things, search and rescue. So they're not going to become an expert at the end of the class, but at least they get a very good knowledge of how things work on those areas.
This is the course that you modified, that they ask you to do. This is, I have to tell you, this is the first time, even as a professor myself, that I've heard of a practical course that literally is a practical commercial ops course.
Right, and that is a good thing about FIT. FIT likes to do things practical, and they really like the approach for this course, and they agree right away, let's go and do it that way.
Dr. Salazar, I have to ask you, where did your interest in drones and gyroplanes, now you mentioned that as well, Where did you become interested? When did you get the bug? I mean,
I started flying RC helicopters almost 30 years ago.
okay.
Not fixed wing
Right.
RC, but RC helicopter. And one of the things that I did is that I started using the embedded Linux and the embedded software that we develop and do the training for creating little autonomous helicopter, but just to teach the engineers at certain companies how to work with real-time OS.
No. Now that leads me to, does that lead into, you're also the chief technical officer
Right.
for JHL Technologies. Now that is software that is embedded, it's real
That is the
embedded software.
development and the training for embedded software.
Okay.
I was one of the guys who did training for certain companies
Okay.
relating to installing the Android, the Linux on the phones.
Seriously?
Yes.
And they use, now do they, then talk to me, educate me, so that technology then translates to what
Well,
we're using in the drones now?
Well, that's similar because you have an embedded operating system that allows you to be real time.
Okay.
So in real time, it knows what signals to receive and how to act on those signals from the different sensors that you put on the drone. So drones are here to stay, and
Okay.
they are changing and getting better.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you, I've got to switch. I want to ask you, let's keep talking about the drones for a minute, because I want to ask you, talk to us a little bit about the FAA regulations, because I know there's some very strict regulations, because I know there's a lot of our viewers that they love drones. I know my own sons, they love the drones, they love to fly them. But drones that are used for fun, for recreational use, and then of course, like you said, drones that are used for search and rescue, power line,
Yeah, for commercial
operations. What are some of the FAA regulations? How have they changed? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, we have a new series of regulations that are going to take effect this month on the 21st. So
Okay, that's good to know.
It's good to know, and they are very good regulations. In some cases, people don't understand them, so they get to be a little iffy in the way that they look at them. But the nice thing that the FAA changed is the fact that now, if you're already a drone pilot, you don't have to go and do a recurrent test. You do recurrent training, and it is online and it's free.
Okay.
The other thing that happened with this is that on this new recurrent training for the new regulations, you're going to be able to take that course and you have all of the training that is required for you to fly at night.
Really?
Drones.
Yes.
There are certain things that you got to put on the drone to be able to be seen by other aircraft.
Right.
But those things, if you put in them, you will be able to do the night operations.
Now, where can individuals find that? Do you have a website that you know?
You can go to my website, but usually you will find all of that on the FAA website for the UIS.
Okay. Yes. all right.
Everything is there. Anything that you can imagine and you want is there.
Okay.
A lot of information, and now they are beginning to put a lot of videos in their YouTube channel regarding the regulations and all those things that you have.
And we know, of course, especially with the students that we cater to, CFAA students here, of course, at Sun and Fun. Talk to me a little bit. I know that they're very in tune with YouTube, and so that'll be a great option for them. But where do you see? I mean, it sounds to me like you've watched the progression of the drones from the time that they were first sort of new in the new technology. Where do you see them going in the future? What do you see? I mean, with some people hear about Amazon delivering packages with the drones.
There is a lot more than that. You will see it besides delivering package being used by the Army or the Armed Forces to move resources, to move things that they need in different areas.
Okay.
Because they are smaller, they are different, very difficult to see on radars. So there is not going to be the same as taking a 130 cargo plane and deliver all those things. You may send 20 of them. The other thing that you have is that with the technology and the software that we have today, you can create a drone that recognizes from 500 feet or 400 feet I'm talking about the Army or the police, the fact that somebody carrying an arm, a rifle, a gun,
Right.
because you have now a software that allows you to do recognition. As an example, 2.5 years ago, I wrote a software to do cattle counting. The reason we wanted to do that is because if you here in Florida, we have a lot of cattle farms.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that I'm driving one time and I see the cowboys running around the farm counting the cattle. And I said, it's got to be an easy way. So I use video recognition on the drone to capture the video, put it on the computer, process it, and it tells you how many cows are in that location. Like that. Instead of being 3 hours, it gives you that information in probably 3 minutes. But now there are companies doing that commercial and doing service on demand.
Now, Dr. Salazar, I need to ask you, because now I'm intrigued. Where you are such a beautiful blend of the science, the computer science, and aviation, and it's a beautiful blend together. Where did you get your interest in computers and Microsoft and software development? And then how did you all of a sudden tie that in to aviation? Which came first?
The computers.
The computers.
Yeah, in 1975.
And was it something, what happened? Was there an event or something?
No, I was doing my undergraduate engineering and I happened to always wanted to have computers. I bought the first, my father gave me the first Texas Instrument calculator that came out.
Right.
Yeah, and from there, here we go, travel in paradise.
How did you get into programming and coding?
Well, in engineering, you have to take some courses, and one of them was Fortran. And you have to do the punch card.
Yes.
So I did that one, and I decided that I didn't want to use a punch card anymore because we were in this lab. The machines were empty, but they didn't put any sign that it says they are not working. So I went and put my program there. I think there were like 30 cards. Gave it to the guy to run it in the computer. When I pick it up next day, I had like 300 errors. And I'm going, what is this? Oh no, the machine is bad. And so I went to the dean and they gave me an account on a Unix machine. Okay. And that is how I started. They said, you get that account, but you got to learn your own how to use the operating system.
Okay. So you did.
No problem.
Now, how did that tie into aviation?
Well, when I finished my undergraduate and did my master, one of the things that I started doing is looking at the aviation from the point of view of training.
Okay.
While I was at Nova Southeastern University, I helped develop some of the software for online training.
For aviation?
No, for training on the university, doing the online courses.
Really? Okay. So, okay.
And then I started getting into aviation little by little, and one of the things that I noticed is that we were behind times. We're always with books, VHS, nothing online.
Right.
And with the possibilities that we have today is there are things that you can do today that you couldn't do 6 years ago.
Right, right. And when did you start flying, Dr. Salazar?
My first fly was in 1978. One of my degrees that I did for the fund was photography as an associate in 1978.
Awesome.
So I got a little job working for one of the agencies taking pictures because we're going to build a new highway. And that is what got me hooked on helicopters and gyroplanes. Especially helicopters and gyroplanes.
Now, I understand in your spare time, and I say that a little tongue-in-cheek, okay, because seriously, I don't know when you sleep, but I understand, even with the company, Blades Over Me, with everything that you're doing at FIT, you're also a certified flight instructor.
Correct.
So you're a certified flight instructor, so I have to ask you, what program do you work with? Where do you work? Do you specialize?
Well, I specialize in gyroplanes. And not a gyroplane is an aircraft that is not a plane and is not a helicopter.
You said it's a motorcycle in the sky.
It's a motorcycle in the sky.
I love it. I love it. So so you're a certified flight instructor
for that.
Now, how did you get into? Now, you started doing the remote helicopters when you were little.
Yeah.
So the gyroplanes.
Then I went to helicopters.
Right.
And then I went to gyroplanes.
That is amazing. Now, let me ask you a question. I also understand that you build them. Talk a little bit about the gyroplanes, because I know a lot of our audience, they know what they are. I know that they can see them here at Sun and Fun.
Correct.
But there may be some that don't know what they are.
Correct.
So can you describe it? And I believe we were talking earlier, you said they come in a kit, and when you say that, it sounds like Legos to me.
Yes, it sounds like Legos. The same with today, you know, in the 70s and 60s, if you got a Popular Mechanics, there were kits being sold in there.
Okay.
And those were the Benson gyroplanes.
Okay.
Today, they're a little more sophisticated.
All right.
So the manufacturers in Europe, here in the US, we have one here in Florida in Zephyr Hill. We use that one, and we use the ones in Italy and in Poland.
Okay.
What they do is they create a kit, which is easy to assemble, and they do it in such a way that it takes probably 5 working days. If you work 8 hours a day, and you have your gyroplane finished by then.
That's it.
That's it. And then, because it's not like the old days that you got to be a welder, you got to be a painter, you got to be.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, not today. Today they gave you all of the information. It's like you say, a Lego. They give you all the book and tells you this is how you go for the engine, this is how you go for the instruments, this is how you use the wire harness to put it in there, this is how you put the blades. And of course, one of the things that we try to do is to make sure that when they do it safely. So
right.
The gyroplanes that we bring from Europe, we make sure that the manufacturer puts every single detail and create videos. So whoever wants to become a builder or wants to buy one as a kit and put it together can follow those instructions and see the videos and all the instructions that they needed.
Now, you've built several, and I know you have one now. Yeah. That you fly.
Yes, I have 2.
You have 2?
Yes.
And I understand.
One is a tandem and one is a side-by-side.
Really?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, for someone that is interested, so our viewers and our listeners that are interested in flying a gyroplane, and I believe that you sent us some pictures, and I also understand that in addition to that, you are also building a simulator?
Yes, we're building a simulator, a 3-axis simulator for gyroplane. So
will
instead
you use
of
that as a trainer?
As a training. So one of the things that we wanted to do is finish it, get it working correctly, so we can go to the FAA and get it approved as a simulator for training. So the 5 hours that you work on that one can count over to your rating, for your rating.
Now I wanted to ask you about that. Can you speak to those that, and I know they can see you here at Sun and Fun.
Yes.
So I know that individuals can come out if they see you on the TV, they can talk to you live and in person, and they can see the actual gyroplanes, which they don't want to miss because they truly are the coolest things. They're awesome. They are a motorcycle in the sky.
Yes.
I love it. What do pilots need to do? What is it, a rating if you have a private pilot's license? Is it a special rating you get? For those that may not know, can you talk us through that process?
Well, it's a different category. So, for example, if you have a pilot that is a fixed wing.
Right.
So there are several routes that you can take to get your gyroplane category.
Okay.
So if you're a private pilot, but you don't want to have the private pilot gyroplane, you want to have the sport pilot, which is what the majority of the pilots want to do that,
okay.
is that you get trained by one instructor based on the regulations, and the other instructor will give you the check ride.
Okay.
So he's trained to proficiency.
Okay.
And one of the things that we try to do is to make sure that they are safe.
Okay.
So the average person sometimes takes a little bit more. It's in between 10 to 14 hours. Okay. But in that period, we do more than 100 landings and takeoff. So they really, because it's not the same as a plane, it's not the same as a helicopter. So if you're a fixed wing pilot.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. So in a fixed wing, what do? Nose down, power in to get out of the
right.
Out of the stall. You don't do that on a helicopter unless you want to be, a gyroplane, I'm sorry, unless you want to become a piano.
Yeah, not good.
It's not good.
Well, so they would just go through, take the training.
Take the training,
and then
get
they
proficient,
would get that rating.
And then they will get that rating.
And you are a certified flight instructor, so anyone that's interested could come and see you.
Yep.
And learn how to. Well, I have to tell you, that is amazing. Now, where are you located? If people want to see you here at Sun and Fun, I know we've only got a minute or two left, but where can people find you, Dr. Salazar? Because you are just a joy.
We are at Paradise City.
Okay.
on LP30.
LP30. Will they be able to actually see gyroplanes
Oh yeah,
flying?
we have gyroplanes there, and they have been flying all week. And besides me, there are some other ones that are in there that are also very interesting to see.
I tell you what, Dr. Salazar, you are a joy. Thank you for sharing your expertise, your knowledge. For all of those that are here at Sun and Fun 2021, please be sure to stop by Paradise City. You can ask for Dr. Salazar. I know that they'll be able to find you.
Yep.
You are welcome to go see him as we finish up Sun and Fun today. Dr. Salazar, thank you so much for joining me. This is a joy. My name is Lori Bradner. I'm the hostess with the mostess on Florida 8 for Florida Aviation Networks. We're broadcasting live and in the clear at Sun and Fun 2021. Come see us.